Hi. Welcome to Luna Listens to Books channel. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe. Now the story begins. They all said I was the biggest fan of Justin, revolving my world around him since childhood after much waiting. When he finally agreed to date me, I lost my memory in a car accident. Yvonne, I really am your boyfriend, you truly loved me before even willing to die for me, please, try to remember, he pleaded, his face unshaven and worn. I sighed so faintly, looking at the haggard man before me. Mr. Bond, I'm about to be engaged, I hope you won't disturb me anymore. My fiancé would be jealous. Arguments, a nighttime highway, and a truck suddenly appearing, it all shattered like glass in my mind. Patient in bed 12 is awake, call Dr. Graham. I had just opened my eyes and was not yet accustomed to the glaringly bright ceiling when an excited female voice erupted beside me. A doctor? Was I in a hospital? I struggled to sit up, and the excited young girl beside me noticed my movement and quickly helped me up. Hello, Miss Patterson, you've been unconscious for 10 days. Dr. Graham will come soon to give you a thorough diagnosis. I glanced at her name tag. She was a newly appointed intern nurse. How did I end up here? The nurse paused, stared at me with wide eyes, looked left and right at my head, then stepped back, covering her mouth as she looked at me. Don't you remember, you were in a car accident and brought here 12 days ago. A gentleman was brought in with you, but his injuries were minor and he was discharged a few days ago. Discharged, a gentleman, I frowned, but couldn't recall anything. It was as if a chunk of my memory had vanished. Seeing my furrowed brow in silence, the previously excited nurse now pursed her lips and stood to one side, until a refined male doctor entered. She quickly changed her despondent expression, ran over to the doctor, and whispered something about me. Dr. Graham, the patient is awake, but it seems she has amnesia. Amnesia? The man called Dr. Graham stopped by my bed, lifted his head, and cast a worried look through his gold-rimmed glasses that glinted in the light, thumping in my heart. Do you remember your name? Dr. Graham sat by my bed, taking notes as he asked, his voice as gentle as silk with pearls sliding over it. Obediently leaned back against the headboard and nodded at him. He glanced at me, lowered his head, and continued. Do you remember your home, your parents, or your friends? I propped my chin and thought carefully. Those things sounded familiar. Seeing me nod, Dr. Graham closed his notebook and stared at me before asking the final question, and, what about Justin, do you remember him? Justin, the name sounded familiar, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't recall this person. After a futile effort, I pursed my lips and shook my head at Dr. Graham. Dr. Graham watched me intently for a while before putting away his pen and saying, preliminary diagnosis is selective amnesia. Recommend staying in the hospital for observation and conducting a concussion test tomorrow. As he stood to leave, I quickly grabbed the hem of his coat, looking up at him with a slightly embarrassed expression as I stuck out my tongue. Dr. Graham, this ward is so large, and I'm here all by myself. It's quite scary at night. I admit my hint was rather obvious, and it might be hard for anyone to understand, but I felt he would fulfill my request. Behind his reflective glasses, I couldn't see his eyes, only the mocking curve of his lips. Yvonne, some tricks should only be used once, any more than that will become annoying. Dr. Graham's words left me baffled, and as I watched his resolute departure, I withdrew my outstretched hand and curled back under the covers. Yet, his words intrigued me. What did he mean? Had we met before? While I was nestled in the covers, deep in thought, I suddenly heard the sound of a chair being moved inside the room. Cautiously, I peeked out only to find that Dr. Graham had returned without my noticing, busying himself with his laptop. Dr. Graham, didn't you say? Taking care of patients is a doctor's duty. He didn't even look up, his light remark effectively silencing me before another word could escape. His voice came again from behind his laptop. Rest early, it's good for your recovery. I rolled my eyes at him and turned over, preparing to sleep. The rhythmic tapping of the keyboard in the spacious hospital room not only didn't disturb my sleep but instead made me feel more at ease. Just before drifting off, I couldn't help but ask. Dr. Graham, did we know each other before? The tapping stopped abruptly. After a long pause, as I was nearly asleep, I faintly heard his deep voice. Yvonne, you'd be better off not remembering. The next day, when I woke up, Dr. Graham was no longer in the room, was enjoying my hospital breakfast and eagerly asked the young nurse checking in about Dr. Graham. The nurse gave me a blank look and poured cold water on my curiosity. Dr. Graham is indeed very popular, but I'd advise you not to pursue him. Heard he had an ex-girlfriend who hurt him deeply, causing him to lose interest in women. Ah, was he impotent? That was such a waste. I sadly poked at the food on my plate, lamenting the loss of another handsome man to cheer me up, while the nurse, after checking the room, gave me a knowing look and left. Right after I finished eating, a fiery woman burst into my hospital room, dragging a man with her. Yvonne, you're awake. I've caught this jerk for you. Look, she's fine, isn't she? She's been in the hospital for over 10 days, and you've not cared to check on her while you go around with other women. What kind of boyfriend does that make you? I've always been like this, and Yvonne knows it. Besides, she's doing fine. As I watched the bickering couple by my bed, I was perplexed. Meanwhile, I sneakily reached under the pillow trying to call Dr. Graham. Yvonne, I heard from that nurse that you had a severe head injury. Are you all right? The woman released the struggling man and rushed to my bedside, her face full of concern, stared at her for a long while before stuttering. Hi, sorry, but who are you? Instantly, the expressions of the woman and the man at my bedside changed. Unlike the woman's increasing worry, the man scoffed and sarcastically said, "Cut it out. Is this your new trick, Yvonne? Come on, let's see how good your acting is, crazy." I kept pressing the call button under the pillow, hoping someone would quickly come and throw these two out. The woman by the bed grabbed my hand, her voice breaking as she asked, "Yvonne, don't you recognize me? You really don't know who I am. And we've been friends since we were kids." Anne's eyes were round and tearful as she looked at me. Something hot dropped onto the back of my hand, making my heart flutter. Amid her sobs, fragments of memory came flooding back. Anne. She suddenly grabbed the hand I had reached out to wipe her tears with and burst out speaking excitedly. "Yvonne, you remember me, that's great." She threw herself into my arms, and I immediately began to gently stroke her back. Although the memories were fragmented, they slowly started forming a puzzle in my mind, and was my childhood best friend. Our families lived next door and were very close. The man by the bed, who had initially looked surprised, now wore a mocking smirk. "You've recalled that now, haven't you? It hasn't even been 5 minutes, Yvonne. Is that all you've got?" I felt a throb in my temple. I had to stay calm. Dr. Graham had said mood swings weren't good for the brain. After calming and down, I crossed my arms and tilted my chin up at the man. "Excuse me, Mr. Nosy, who might you be?" At that, not only did the man freeze, but so did Anne. The questioned man pointed at himself and leaned in close to my face. "You don't know who I am?" His smell of tobacco and alcohol was overpowering, and I couldn't help but click my tongue and turn my head away, pinching my nose. "Are you some kind of big cheese that I need to know?" Apparently angered by my gesture, the man looked about to lunge forward but Anne stopped him. "Yvonne, this is Justin, your boyfriend." "What?" I already had a boyfriend. What about Dr. Graham, the heartthrob? I was devastated. Fortunately, Dr. Graham arrived just then. Seeing me visibly shaken and collapsing onto the hospital bed, he quickly ran to shield me. "The patient is still not fully recovered and is emotionally unstable. Please do not agitate her." Exactly. I sat up and sought refuge behind Dr. Graham, clutching his white coat and starting to cry out. "Dr. Graham, he's agitating me. He actually said he's my boyfriend. How could I possibly like someone like him? This is slander." Perhaps it was my imagination, but I felt Dr. Graham stiffen in front of me, his hands that had been protectively spread like a mother hen slowly drooping. "You're Justin. It's an honor to meet you, Mr. Bond." Justin. I remembered that when I had just woken up, Dr. Graham had also asked if I remembered this person. This damned man was Justin. Perhaps noticing the hatred in my eyes, Justin was seething with anger, and his gaze passed over Dr. Graham and fixed on me. "Yvonne, what do you mean? Have you forgotten how you've been fawning over me since we were kids?" "What, me fawning over him from childhood? Was my taste really that bad before?" "Sorry, I really forgot. Since it's like this, let's break up now." "What did you say? You want to break up with me?" and tried to rush over but was solidly blocked by Dr. Graham. She could only open her mouth in a vain attempt to persuade me. Yvonne, don't be hasty, we all saw how much you loved Justin, don't regret this later when you remember. Regret, not a chance. You don't need to persuade me, I will never change my mind, because I don't like him anymore, like Dr. Graham now. The three people in the room, besides myself, froze in place. The first to snap out of it was Dr. Graham, who extended his hand and gestured for Justin to leave with a please. Mr. Bond, did you hear that? Please leave the ward. My patient needs rest, Dr. Graham said. Justin stared at Dr. Graham, then at me behind him for a moment before bursting into laughter and pointing at me as he left. Yvonne, playing this game again, huh? Fine, I'll be waiting for the day you regret and come begging to me. After Justin left and looked at me with words on the tip of her tongue but was ushered out of the ward by Dr. Graham, claiming that I needed rest. Once everyone else had cleared out, Dr. Graham turned around and looked at me with interest. So the person you like is me? His eyes were hidden behind reflective lenses, and his soft pink lips moved as he spoke. Oops, got off track there. I never lie. I held up 4 fingers under the blanket to prove that every word I said was true, pushed his glasses up and chuckled. You like me, then tell me, what's my name? I hadn't had a chance to ask the nurse what his name was yet. I blinked my eyes at him, hoping to charm my way out of it, but he instantly turned cold. You claim to like me without even knowing who I am, some things never change. With those words, he coldly walked away with his hands in his pockets, leaving me alone to stare at his retreating figure. Did I flirt with him before? After a series of tests, the hospital diagnosed that other than losing some memories, there was nothing seriously wrong with me and I could be discharged soon. Since the last time Dr. Graham seemed angry, he hadn't visited my ward again. Even though I wandered around the hospital every day, I couldn't run into him again. But now that I was about to be discharged, if I couldn't seize this last chance, then it would be over between Dr. Graham and me. Taking advantage of the lack of attention from others, I sneaked into Dr. Graham's office and started flipping through his notebook. Liam. Liam sounds like a nice name. As I searched for Liam's contact information, I got caught before finding anything. What are you doing? I was startled by Liam's voice from behind and my legs went weak as I sat on the floor hugging the table leg. Dr. Graham, long time no see. Since I'm about to be discharged, I thought I'd come say goodbye, haha. Saying goodbye to my table leg? He walked into the office, closed the door behind him, and sat directly in front of me on his chair. His unbuttoned white coat revealed his impressive abdominal muscles beneath his shirt, and veins slightly bulged on his fair skin where the buttons were undone. I couldn't help but swallow saliva. Just imagine if I could sleep with such a perfect specimen, how happy and cheerful would I be? Cough. Seemingly aware of my gaze, Liam awkwardly turned away and buttoned up his white coat. His ears were tinged with a suspicious redness, stood up and opened my palm in front of Liam. Give me your phone number, Dr. Graham. What if one day I have a headache or fever and can't find anyone to help? My dad always said that as long as I looked at someone pitifully with my big watery eyes, they couldn't resist fulfilling any request of mine. Firmly believed that cuteness works on everyone. Miss Patterson has many friends. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I can't be of assistance. His hands were folded on his lap as he looked at his slender fingers made of jade like perfection. Unable to resist temptation, I swallowed saliva again. Such perfection. If I can't sleep with him, then I won't die in peace. Please, give it to me. With my memory loss now, I don't remember anything else. Right now, you're the person I trust the most, Dr. Graham. If you don't give it to me, then I won't leave. I pounced onto his knee and looked up at him at a 45-degree angle while fluttering my big cardcaptor Sakura-like eyes at him. Sure enough, he was immediately conquered by me. He covered my eyes with one hand while scribbling something on the desk with the other hand. After a while, he handed me a piece of paper without looking at me. There you go. After receiving his contact information, I happily stood up, opened the door, and left. Before leaving completely, I considerately told Liam. Dr. Graham, your ears are red. When I arrived home, I coincidentally ran into my hurriedly returning parents. They rushed to me as soon as they opened the door, examining me from head to toe. Oh my goodness, Yvonne, your dad and I hurried back from abroad as soon as we received news of your accident. How are you feeling now? The hospital said it's nothing serious, just maybe a bit of memory loss. Memory loss? My dad asked the question, and after seeing that I was fine, he started opening the luggage to show me the gifts he brought back. I took the cute but ugly doll he handed me and nodded. Yes, actually, I don't feel like I've forgotten anything specific, but instead I forgot about Justin. She even said Justin was my ex-boyfriend and that I used to really like him. Mom and Dad, is what she said true? I have no recollection at all. After exchanging glances, my parents held my hand and sat down on the couch. My mom gently caressed the back of my hand, carefully choosing her words. Yvonne, you really don't remember Justin? Seeing me nod blankly, my dad immediately clapped his hands. If you've forgotten, then forget it. It's not a big deal. Don't worry, Yvonne. Justin is Mr. Bond's youngest son. You two dated for a few days before. If you forgot, it's okay, you can just break up. I nodded and opened my phone, wanting to show them Liam's WeChat. I've already broken up with him. Take a look at this. This is your daughter's new boyfriend. You're already dating someone new so quickly? My dad frowned as he looked at Liam's flashy and trendy photos, while my mom nodded approvingly and praised how handsome he was, pouted and hugged my dad's arm, using my cute sister act. We're getting serious, if dear dad is willing to give a little assistance to your lovely daughter. My dad looked at me suspiciously. Why do you want me to support him? Oh no, what am I saying? It would be great if we could get support. Threatened by my dad's sharp gaze, I quickly changed my words. Well, our company is planning to collaborate with a medical company recently. Coincidentally, that hospital saved my life. Dad, you can consider it as accumulating merits by donating some equipment to the hospital, and as for me, I'll go to the hospital as a representative of the company to discuss the donation. My dad looked at me skeptically as if he was looking at a flattering courtier. However, my mom waved her hand. All right, then you handle this matter yourself. With my mom's approval, I happily took my tablet and went upstairs to prepare the agreement. On the way up, I overheard my parents whispering to each other. Just let her do it. She went crazy for that Bond family boy before, now she's doing fine. Didn't like Justin as a son-in-law either. Do you like her new boyfriend then? I do like him. I've met him. Unfortunately, my mom spoke too softly and I couldn't hear what she said next. A few days later, dressed up nicely with Liam in the hospital where he worked, I confidently appeared in front of the director's office with my dad's secretary. Well, in order to thank Dr. Graham for his skilled and compassionate care, I'm willing to donate these medical equipment to your esteemed hospital. Don't have any specific requirements. I just want to take a look around your hospital and see if there's anything else that needs donations. Sitting across from the director in his office, flipping through the prepared donation agreement in my hand, the director behind his Mediterranean Sea hairstyle looked at me and then at the agreement with a smile on his face that seemed to say, I understand. I understand Miss Patterson's kindness very well. How about this? Dr. Graham happens to be free today. Let me have him show you around the hospital. Saying that, he dialed Dr. Graham's number and soon enough Liam appeared at the door looking disheveled. What can I do for you, director? I spun around in my chair with crossed legs and appeared in front of him. Long time no see, Dr. Graham. A flicker of joy flashed in Liam's eyes the moment he saw me, and it was so quick that thought I had imagined it. With the headmaster's expectant gaze upon us, Liam and I walked hand in hand through the hospital. Liam's expression gave nothing away, and he earnestly introduced me to the various departments of the hospital, ignoring my frivolous teasing. Liam, go on a date with me, just one date, and I'll donate a piece of equipment. Just as Liam was about to respond, a sweet voice came from behind me. Thank you for accompanying me to the hospital, Justin, but what if your girlfriend Yvonne sees us? Upon hearing my name, Liam's gaze turned slightly cold. Following his line of sight, I saw Justin walking towards us, supporting an alluring woman with a cast on her foot. Justin and the woman immediately noticed us. As our eyes met, a strange sourness filled my heart, followed by an inexplicable annoyance, furrowed my brows. This feeling wasn't pleasant. When Justin saw me, he paused for a moment, then seemingly remembered that we had broken up. He raised a malicious smile and intimately linked arms with the woman. So what if you see us? When has she ever had any say over me? The woman also noticed me, but Justin's words gave her the courage to act arrogantly. She pursed her lips and apologetically addressed me. "I'm sorry, Miss Patterson, Justin just happened to accompany me to the hospital because I slipped by the pool last night." Her ambiguous words sparked countless thoughts in my mind, as if she wanted to see anger and jealousy in my expression. Even Justin looked at me with anticipation, hoping to see me upset and regretful. But no, I found it rather boring. "No need to apologize, Mr. Bond and I have already broken up. Whatever he does is none of my concern." There was a momentary blank expression on Justin and the alluring woman's faces, especially Justin. The expectant look he had turned into impatience, let go of the woman's arm and rubbed his temples before commanding me. "Yvonne, stop causing trouble. So what if I didn't take care of you when I was discharged? I promise you now that I'll be a better boyfriend in the future. Stop making a scene." He was definitely crazy. I rolled my eyes and ignored him. As I tried to walk past Justin, he grabbed my arm. His impatient tone came from above. "That's enough, Yvonne. In a few days, it's my grandmother's birthday banquet. She wants to see you. Don't cause trouble like before. The position of Bond family daughter-in-law will always be yours." He's insane, completely insane. I struggled to free my arm from his grip, but his hold was too strong. Instead of breaking free, my arm turned red. Just as I was considering whether or not to call security, Liam approached us. He held onto Justin and restrained his grip on my wrist, causing him to quickly release me with a grimace of pain. Then Liam calmly held my hand and said in front of Justin's fiery gaze, "Mr. Bond, since you've already broken up with her, please stop bothering Miss Patterson. After all, she is mine now." Liam coolly held my hand and left after saying those words, leaving only Justin staring at our backs in impotent rage. "Graham, just you wait," he shouted at us. "Yvonne, if you want to cause trouble, go ahead. I won't give you another chance." To this day, Justin still thinks that I'm trying to make him submit in some other way. Did I really stoop so low before? Lost in my thoughts, Liam led me forward while holding my hand, trailed behind him slightly and found his figure increasingly familiar. Bang! Liam kicked the office door shut with his foot while I leaned against the wall, awkwardly watching our intertwined hands. Nervously fidgeting, I asked him, "Dr. Graham, did you just say that I am yours?" With an anxious yet excited heart, I looked at him expectantly. Liam snorted from his nose and let go of my hand. "You are indeed my patient. Did I say something wrong?" He leaned back in his chair as if nothing had happened while I stood frozen in place. Even though reason told me not to look in that direction, my eyes uncontrollably shifted towards that suspicious bulge. "Do you want to go on a date with me?" Liam pushed up his glasses and folded his fingers on his abdomen as he looked at me with curved peach blossom eyes that seemed ready to speak but remained silent for now. Instantly losing composure, I nodded eagerly. Liam smiled at my agreement. "After work at Silverheart Restaurant, Miss Patterson won't stand me up, will she?" For my first date with Liam, I made special arrangements to clear the place and decorated the restaurant with an abundance of roses, wore a brand new haute couture dress from a luxury brand and sat gracefully at the table, waiting for Liam to arrive. When Liam walked in, he was visibly surprised. This time, he sat in front of me and actively engaged in conversation, unlike his previous indifference towards me. After finishing our main course and waiting for dessert, he took out a box from his pocket. Inside was a beautiful lucky star necklace. "As a token of gratitude for inviting me to this dinner, please accept this necklace, Miss Patterson." Reached out and took the necklace, feeling a sense of familiarity with the lucky star pendant. I looked at Liam while holding the necklace, and he was looking at me with his chin resting on his hand. When he saw me looking at him, he put down his hand and smiled self-deprecatingly. "Yvonne, I surrender, whether it's to pass the time or to make Justin jealous. You said you wanted to pursue me, and now you are my girlfriend. This time, I won't easily let you go." Liam's change in attitude caught me off guard. Even when he drove me home, I hadn't fully processed it yet. Standing at the doorstep of my house, I grabbed Liam's arm as he was about to leave. "So, now, you're my boyfriend?" Stars sparkled in Liam's eyes, and the dimples on his cheeks revealed his current joyous mood. "Do you still want to back out, girlfriend?" I held my pounding heart like a lottery winner who didn't dare tell anyone and laughed as I entered the house. As soon as I stepped inside, I saw and sitting in the living room with my parents. Yvonne, you're back. And why are you here? Is something wrong? And was about to speak but paused for 2 seconds when her gaze fell on the necklace around my neck. She then took my hand and told my mom that she had something private to discuss with me in my room. Yvonne, Justin said he saw you with Dr. Graham's doctor at the hospital today. In the room, and sat on a chair with her arms crossed, looking at me like an interrogator. Yes, I changed clothes, I answered her. Yes, that's right. Let me tell you, Liam and I are together. I never thought it would be so easy to win him over. When I turned around, I noticed and looking at me with a very strange expression. Yvonne, don't you remember Justin? Don't you remember Liam either? So Liam and I knew each other before. Quickly, tell me how we met before. And pursed her lips and looked at me hesitantly for a while before speaking in a hesitant tone. You made a bet with Justin back then. You could win over Liam before the school beauty did. He promised to be your boyfriend, but later on you won him over and Justin ended up dating the school beauty instead. You were angry and broke up with Liam after a few weeks. When Justin called you after their breakup, you even gave him some money as a breakup fee. So I was that ex-girlfriend who hurt him deeply. I touched my almost dropping jaw. No wonder Liam would say such strange things to me all the time. Did he think that I pursued him this time just to make Justin jealous? And came forward and pushed me onto the bed as I wailed. Yvonne, look at how much you loved Justin all these years. All knew it. You finally had a chance with him after so long because of your amnesia. But what if one day you remember everything and regret it? Listen to me and go back to Justin. I interrupted Anne's words and expressed my long-standing doubt. You all talk about how much I liked Justin before. Can you tell me what exactly it was like? I'm really curious. Then and vividly described my life revolving around Justin for over 20 years, from falling in love with Justin at first sight. I followed him every day. When Justin got into fights or skipped school, I helped cover up for him. When he was busy dating or playing video games, I helped him with his homework and self-reflection. Even when Justin changed girlfriends every day, I didn't mind. Would even help him deal with those ex-girlfriends who came back to bother him after their breakup. All those efforts were because I liked Justin. After licking his boots for so many years, it was unbelievable that Justin agreed to be my boyfriend. However, even when we were dating, he was surrounded by beautiful women without considering my feelings. During one drive together, we had an argument which led to a car accident. Above is my lost ultimate love story from being a brainless love-struck puppy. After hearing it all, I couldn't help but applaud myself. Thank goodness I forgot everything, otherwise, I would suspect someone had cast a spell on me. Yvonne, look at how much you loved Justin before. Remembering selectively is possible to recover from. What if one day you remember everything and regret it? And after hearing everything you've told me, I don't feel anything at all. Maybe I did love Justin before, but that was in the past. I still liked Justin now. Why would I have fallen in love with Liam at first sight instead of Justin? And was stunned by my question. She stood there speechless. I patted her shoulder reassuringly. And honestly speaking, do you really think Justin is suitable as a boyfriend? And tilted her head and thought for a moment before vigorously shaking her head like a tambourine. That's right then. Now that Justin and I have broken up and Dr. Graham is single again with countless beautiful women around him while Liam is also available, isn't it better for everyone? And some things can't be explained clearly. After Anne and I had a conversation, she stopped insisting on me getting back together with Justin. Now, her main focus was observing Liam's character. The news of my breakup with Justin had spread on our social media accounts. At first, Justin's friends didn't take it seriously. Some even left comments on my posts saying things like, "When are you going to come begging for Justin? I bet money on it." It wasn't until the constant display of affection between Liam and me on various social media platforms that those people started to realize that Justin and I had truly broken up. During the Bond family dinner, as I walked in with Liam, Justin stared intensely in our direction. When Liam went to the restroom, Justin immediately approached me. "Yvonne, have you caused enough trouble?" I held on to my champagne glass tightly, resisting the urge to throw it at him, forced a smile and replied, "Mr. Bond, I don't understand what you're saying." "That's enough, Yvonne. I promise if you stop causing trouble, I won't fool around like before. Break up with Liam." I gripped the glass even tighter and repeatedly reminded myself not to act impulsively at the Bond family dinner. Just as Justin was about to reach out for me, I was pulled into another warm embrace. If I heard correctly, Mr. Bond is trying to steal someone else's girl? Liam held me tightly in his arms and his voice, not too loud but loud enough, attracted the attention of those around us. Justin couldn't hide his embarrassment. She's just a woman I don't want anymore, yet you still treasure her so much. After saying that and spitting to the side, he left dejectedly. I looked up at Liam's chin with a teasing tone. Are you jealous, Dr. Graham? I heard from above as Liam let go of me and took my hand to leave the banquet hall. In a corner of the Bond family garden, he pressed me against the wall and kissed me passionately until my head felt dizzy. Suddenly, a man's angry voice came from nearby. What are you doing? Before I could react, Justin pushed Liam away and punched him to the ground. I turned to see Justin, who had appeared out of nowhere. His eyes were bloodshot as he glared at Liam on the ground, holding his face in pain. You've gone mad, Justin. I stood in front of Liam as Justin saw a hint of hurt in my eyes. He pointed angrily at Liam on the ground. How dare you touch my Yvonne? Seeing that he was about to throw another punch, I stood up and pushed him back forcefully. That's enough, Justin. I've said it many times already, we've broken up. My boyfriend now is Liam. Justin, pushed aside by me, looked at me dazedly and kept repeating, it's impossible, you're lying to me. Seeing him like this, I shook my head and Liam, who was behind me, got up and took my hand. Let's go, my face hurts, Yvonne. He dragged out the last syllable of my name as he held his face in pain. Seeing him looking so pitiful made me furious at Justin. After giving Justin a stern look, I quickly left with Liam and Liam's apartment. I carefully applied an ice pack to his swollen face. Liam watched me silently as I tended to his injuries. Yvonne, do you really like me? I rolled my eyes at him and replied sarcastically, what kind of illness do you have now? But suddenly he sat up and hugged me tightly. He buried his head deep in the crook of my neck before finally mumbling, I mean it, don't leave me, like before. He said the second half of his sentence softly, but I still heard it vaguely. Thinking about how I had once dumped him because of Justin made me curse myself silently. After comforting him, I naturally spent the night at his place. The next day when I returned to my small apartment, I saw Justin sitting outside my door surrounded by cigarette butts. Justin? When Justin, with a scruffy beard on his face, raised his bloodshot eyes, it startled me. I glanced at the cigarette butts beside him and hesitantly asked, You've been sitting outside my house all night? Finally, there was an expression on Justin's face. His smile, which was about to appear, instantly faded when he saw the men's coat on me. You spent the whole night with Liam last night? I nodded and adjusted the coat. It was too late, so Liam was worried about my safety and let me sleep at his place. Is this something you need? Justin stood up, reeking of alcohol. His voice trembled as he asked me, Yvonne, do you really not remember me? I tilted my head back and took a step back. I really can't remember what happened before, but it helped me recall. I'm sorry for bothering you for so long, Mr. Bond. Suddenly, Justin shook his head. He wanted to come forward and hold my arms but withdrew his hand in an instant. He looked at me for a while and muttered under his breath, We'll make you remember. Once you remember, everything will be fine. Seeing him in such a dazed state, I felt a bit worried as I left the apartment. However, after calling and to remind her to pay attention to Justin's condition, I put it out of my mind. The next time I saw Justin was when I was preparing to go back to my hometown. He parked his car in front of me and considerately said, I happen to be going that way too, so I'll give you a ride. Besides, it's not easy to get a taxi now. I looked at him. He looked good in a suit and tie, with a healthy complexion reminiscent of his Playboy days. Seeing that I didn't speak for a while, Justin jokingly said, Although we broke up, my sister is still your best friend, and our parents are still good friends. It wouldn't be so awkward to give you a ride, right? Hearing Justin say this, I felt relieved. As long as he had moved on, I nodded and got into the car. Justin thoughtfully took out water and snacks. The journey is a bit long. If you're hungry, fill your stomach. I reached out and opened a bag of potato chips, letting out a sigh. Remember, you used to not allow people to eat in your car. As soon as the words came out, both of us froze. After a while, Justin wore a bitter smile. It seems like the doctor was right. When you come into contact with old things, memories do come back. I paused while biting the potato chip. Justin continued driving and spoke absent-mindedly. You were so hungry that you were about to cry because you hadn't eaten breakfast, but I just didn't want you to eat in the car. Then you accidentally saw a photo of me with the school beauty who had just returned from abroad and got angry at me. It even escalated to involve Liam. Then a big truck came by unnoticed, and you came over to protect me. I really know I was wrong. Please forgive me, Yvonne. As Justin spoke while crying, suddenly a large truck appeared in front of us, dropped the potato chips and told him to quickly avoid it, but he tearfully clenched his teeth. You will remember, you will definitely remember. In the moment of collision with the truck, Justin stood in front of me. This time, let me protect you. I ended up in the hospital again due to a car accident, but this time the situation was better than last time. When I woke up, I sat on the hospital bed and listened to the attending physician giving me instructions. Although Miss Patterson suffered many external injuries, she can consider herself lucky. The cerebral hemorrhage caused by the previous car accident has been resolved. In theory, Miss Patterson's selective amnesia should have healed. I nodded as a white figure flashed outside the ward. After this car accident, both my parents came to the hospital to take care of me, and came a few times and updated me on Justin's condition. He didn't die, but it was close. Liam, for some reason, whether he was busy or avoiding me, didn't come to see me until I was about to be discharged, and I sent him a text message notifying him to come see me immediately. In the ward, Liam stood with red eyes about a meter away from me, looking at me with a pout. I crossed my arms and suddenly had an idea to tease him. Dr. Graham, I remember everything now. He lowered his eyes, took a breath, and didn't say anything. I raised an eyebrow and continued. I'm sorry. I know, you don't have to say it. Saying that, Liam sniffed and turned around as if he wanted to leave. I immediately ran over and hugged him from behind. I'm sorry for breaking up with you before because of Justin. I was so terrible last time. Can we start over again? Liam's body stiffened. After a while, he turned around, sobbing while holding me, and said in a pitiful voice, You scared me. I thought you were going to break up with me again. Outside the ward, my mom gave my dad a disdainful look and patted his face hard before gesturing at me. They left with their luggage. A few months later, Liam and I started preparing for our engagement. On the eve of our engagement, as I was on my way home holding the flowers Liam gave me, Justin, who had just been discharged from the hospital, stopped me. Yvonne, even though you've remembered everything, why are you still unwilling to forgive me? I truly regret it. Please, can you become the Yvonne who loved me before? I looked at the tired man in front of me with stubble on his face and let out a barely audible sigh. Mr. Bond, I'm about to get engaged soon. Out of respect for our parents' relationship, I won't hold it against you, but I hope you won't disturb me anymore. Justin wanted to say something else, but Anne arrived with people and escorted him away. She apologized to me and wished me a happy engagement. Then she told me that she might have to take Justin abroad for treatment because of his condition. I nodded understandingly. The day Liam and I got married was a rare sunny day during the rainy season. On our wedding night, he took out a love letter from somewhere and read it emotionally. My dear Dr. Graham. Liam, where did you find that? Don't read it. Today's story is over. Thank you all for listening.